It's Barbados Day today and I've just been dragged out of bed ridiculously early, so we're off to go and have some breakfast and then we're down to the boatyard. It's lovely outside and we need to clear our balcony so that they can wash it and maintain it. And I'm so tired. So let's go and have some breakfast and then off to the boatyard.
Morning, it's post-breakfast and I'm now properly awake, thankfully. We are heading out to the boatyard in Barbados, apparently one of the haunts of the singer Rihanna back in her youth. There is a lovely beach, places to sit, drinks, food. There's a turtle diving experience, though unfortunately my scuba dive mask has broken. And here we are now at the boathouse. The sun is out, it's absolutely gorgeous. We've got an umbrella, we've got ourselves a sunbed, we've got ourselves $40 each in Barbados credits. Tamsin's just jumped in for a swim and I'll probably follow in a moment. We've booked our turtle swimming tour, so it's time to enjoy.
Unfortunately, today's been an absolute write-off. We're in Barbados, which I've been really looking forward to. We decided to go to the boatyard and do their turtle watching trip, which I was also really excited about. We walked down there from the cruise ship so we could get the slightly better value resident rate rather than the more expensive cruise passenger rate. While we were there, we wanted to get some food and a couple of complimentary drinks and go on our snorkel tour to see the turtles. Anyway, it took them about half an hour to get me to the front of the queue to actually even order the food, and then about an hour for the food to arrive, which meant that it arrived at exactly the same moment that our snorkeling trip was supposed to start. So we then had the choice of either eating a slightly overpriced lunch, which actually I didn't even really want, or going on the snorkel tour. Anyway, we spoke to the snorkel people and they said they'd call us up for another trip later in the day. We had the really quite rubbish food there, and then they forgot to call us back for any of the snorkeling tours. So I got a plate of chips which tasted horrible, no snorkeling tour, and we paid about 70 American dollars between the two of us for the privilege. So if you're in Barbados and you're thinking about going to the boatyard, I have one really good tip. Next door is another place called Savvy. It's much better value. The boat tour is actually much better, it's slightly longer than the one at the boatyard. The beds aren't quite as posh, but apart from that, I would say it is better in every way. So just to recap, if you're in Barbados and you want to go to the boatyard, don't bother. Go to Savvy instead, it's better. Anyway, this evening we have a table booked for a meal in 5 minutes ago, and it's Scarlet night, so let's put on the clothes and get out there. So today's dinner experience is going to be in the Extra Virgin. Anyway, Tamsin booked this one. I think we might be going here twice, so I'm guessing it's got a good vegetarian and vegan selection. I've not really looked at the menu, so I will see when I see. So apparently this is the large glass of wine. Tastes quite nice. So first of all, they brought my second course, which was the ham and cheese course. The cheeses were nice. They were actually real proper cheese rather than the sort of Edam craft slice kind of things. So that was very nice. The cured meats were also very good, though obviously not if you're vegetarian. So next course will probably be my starter or maybe my dessert, who knows. Feels a bit like eating in one of those cheap cafes where they just bring the courses out in any old order and you get what you're given. Weirdly, they've also just turned all the lights down, so it's not quite pitch black in here, but I might have to watch my step while I'm walking around. I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be atmospheric or whether someone's just not paid the electricity bill. Excuse me holding holding up the candle so that you can actually see me. So second, my first course has arrived and it is the calamari. I've already tried a bit and it's really quite nice. Slightly on the spicy side, which was unexpected, but still very tasty. So I'm hoping with a bit of digital image enhancements you will be able to see what I'm eating. I'm also quite excited to enhance the images so that I can see what I'm eating too. I'm kind of wishing I had my night vision goggles, but I think that's my fish that's just arrived. Hopefully I'll be able to enhance the video again and you'll be able to see what I'm eating, possibly before I do. So, time for the first taste. It's really good, and it is the fish. Overall, my meal in extra virgin was actually really nice. The service, as ever, was excellent. One of the things I did like was that there were nice little tables. Now, a lot of the other restaurants we've been to so far have been a little bit too sociable. So if you are British like me, or a bit introverted like me, and you don't like to be harassed by loads of random strangers, then sitting at a small table and being able to eat alone in peace is a great thing. So that's definitely a plus to extra virgin. I do wish I had night vision goggles in there. It was so dark, I just couldn't see a thing. Well, that's exaggerating, but I couldn't see much. Also, I finished off with a lemon sorbet. I kind of think they might have forgotten to put the lemon flavouring in, but all in all, it was actually a really nice meal and I would recommend it. So today on the ship it's Scarlet night, everyone's basically dressed up in red and then there doesn't seem to be much of anything actually on, at least according to the agenda. We're going to have a little wander around and actually see if we can find anything interesting or worth watching, and if not then I guess it's an early night. But let's go for a wander first, and if there is anything then we'll go and join it. So there's a lot of tentacles around everywhere, but there don't seem to be many people and there doesn't seem to be much actually happening. Maybe I'm just too early in the evening. That was a bit weird. There's just been a medical emergency announcement and it came out in the passenger cabins.
So we're queuing up something and I've got absolutely no idea what for. Apparently something to do with an octopus goddess.
Oh dear, I'm not sure what to say from that. Glad it was only 15 minutes long. We're off up to the pool area again now though to see what's going on up there. Good morning, it's Christmas Day and also my birthday, and we are in St Lucia today. I can already hear police sirens in the distance, which makes me think this is a lovely island. Not really sure what the plans are for today. The only sort of specific thing in the cruise I was really looking forward to was the turtle swimming yesterday. Other than that, I've just been sort of generally looking forward to the trip without any specific expectations. Unfortunately for Virgin, no guidance about the area. Anyway, I guess I will open my birthday cards and then we can go for breakfast. However, as a big thumbs up for Virgin, look at this cute card which I sent through for my birthday, and not only that, but they've actually done a cute little personalised message, if you can see that. So isn't that a really sweet gesture? And that's us back on the ship. There was a point on the way back where we felt actually really unsafe, so we beat a fairly hasty retreat from there. Well, looking how busy the pool area is, I guess nobody else likes St Lucia very much.
Going down, deck 7.
Number 7,
For lunch, we've decided to go to the pizza place. We've actually just nipped up to the buffet to grab ourselves a couple of drinks and wandered down here with them. We went past a few other places, including the pastry shop and a sort of food shop thing by the games room. So I think that's pudding organised as well. But anyway, I have ordered a truffle pizza, which I'm really quite excited about. The environment here is lovely. It's sort of quite peaceful and the pizzas look spectacular, so we'll just have to see if they taste as good as they look. And that is my pizza. So, time for the first taste. The egg's done perfectly and I can really taste the truffle. It is really so good. Which means I'm going to say goodbye for now so I can enjoy it. And it's finally time to have our ice cream. And here we go, complete with a disturbingly red cone or cornet. Really good. That's the perfect pudding to go with my main course.
And there's the last person.
Just been to a show which I was hoping to show you a little bit of, but unfortunately there was no filming allowed, so I will tell you a bit more about that in just a moment. But first of all, let's have a quick tour of the shops. Everything's a bit overpriced, as you'd probably expect, but not too badly so considering it's a cruise ship and you're a captive audience. There's all sorts of things on here, like bags and watches and more bags and more watches and more bags and more watches and various gifts and trinkets and more watches. I should probably also mention that they sell watches. It looks like the tattoo studio's open, so that's exciting. If you want a tattoo, you can go here. And we'll be going to the Red Room later for another show. And just time to fly by another jewellery store and some various clothes and some more watches. And of course the ever important Virgin merchandise. This is the karaoke area, which I was too scared to try out, and then I'd forgotten it's Christmas. They also sell sunglasses so wild that they need to be kept behind bars. And now it's time to leave the shops and head up to the galley for our Christmas dinner. We decided to have Christmas dinner up here instead of one of the main restaurants.
We're just out of a show called The Mangler. It was really good. Unfortunately, no photos or videos during this show. I don't think it was well advertised. It was kind of advertised as a magic show, whereas actually it was a comedy show with a sort of failed magician kind of thing, if that makes sense. Anyway, I found it laugh out loud funny. The main show star was British, so it was quite British humour. I can imagine that a lot of my overseas colleagues might have found it just a little bit weird, but for me it was funny and it was really good, so I would recommend it, especially to the Brits. Now though, we are off to a boy band show. Woohoo! Thank you. Here we go. The auditorium is absolutely arctic, but it's filling up quite nicely even though we're about half an hour before the show. You have no idea how much I'm wishing that I had a blanket right now. I'm not sure what to say about that show. It definitely wasn't my cup of tea, but at the same time they were very talented and I think it was actually quite a good show even though I personally didn't enjoy it, so I think that's a me thing rather than a them thing. The show was basically the history of the boy bands with various songs. It was very American orientated, so lots of really good British boy bands which were completely ignored, and quite a few boy bands I'd never even heard of from America who apparently were famous over here but never quite made it across to the UK. So I think the bottom line is, if you're from the US and if you like boy bands, it's probably going to be really good for you. It wasn't quite for me, but I don't think that should detract from the show because actually it was kind of a quite good show.